Hi everyone, hope you're all well and welcome back to our channel. In today's video we're going to look at the world of website domains. So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned web developer, or just curious about how websites come to life, understanding domains is essential. In this video we'll explore what domains are, how they work, and provide you with valuable tips on choosing the perfect domain for your website. So let's jump right in. So what is a domain? In the context of websites, a domain refers to the unique address that identifies a website on the internet. It's the name that people type into their web browsers to actually access a particular website. A domain consists of two parts, the actual name and the top-level domain. So for example, in the domain name google.com, Google is the actual name and .com is the TLD. So TLDs can indicate different types of websites like .com for commercial websites, .edu for educational institutions, and .org for non-profit organizations as well. But website domain essentially serves as a memorable and user-friendly way for people to access a website. And when a user enters a domain name into a web browser, the DNS translates that domain name into the corresponding IP address of the web server hosting the website. Registering a domain name typically involves purchasing the rights to use that domain name for a set period, usually a year, from a domain registrar, and the domain must be unique and not already registered by someone else. It's important to note that while a domain name is essential for website identification and access, it's separate from website hosting. So a domain name can be associated with a different web hosting provider or even point to another sort of online service or resource. So as mentioned before, there's different TLDs out there and there's different situations in where you should use each of them. The .com TLD is one of the most commonly used domain extensions and is primarily associated with commercial or business-related websites. While there are no kind of strict rules about when to use the .com TLD, it's generally recommended to use it for websites that have a commercial or business focus. Next up you have the .org, and this is primarily associated with non-profit organizations, civic groups, and other non-commercial entities as well. And again, there's no strict rules about when to use it, but it's generally recommended to use it for websites that have a non-profit or organizational focus. The .gov TLD is exclusively reserved for government entities and agencies, and is used to identify official government websites at the national, state, and local levels. And the .edu TLD is reserved for accredited educational institutions like universities, colleges, and educational organizations as well. It's used to signify websites that are primarily focused on educational purposes. And lastly, the .net TLD was originally intended for network infrastructure and service providers, but over time it's become a lot more widely used and it's now associated with various types of websites. So how do you go about buying a domain? The general steps are pretty much the same for no matter what domain registrar you pick. The first thing that you want to do is choose a domain registrar. So you want to select a reputable domain registrar that offers the registration services. Some popular domain registrars include GoDaddy, Namecheap, Google Domains, and Bluehost. You want to compare prices, features, and custom reviews as well to make an informed decision. Then you want to search for domain availability. So you use the registrar's domain search tool to check if your desired domain name is available. Enter the name you want and select the appropriate TLD, so whether you want .com, .org, or .net. If the domain is already taken, the registrar might suggest alternatives, options, or variations as well. You then want to choose a domain name that reflects your brand, business, or website purpose. You want to make it memorable, easy to spell, and relevant to your content or target audience. And once you find an available domain name, you want to continue with the registration process. You'll need to provide information like your name, contact details, and then a payment method. Review the registration details and terms of service before finalizing the purchase. And you want to select the desired registration period as well for your domain. Most registrars offer various options like 1 year, 2 year, or more. But keep in mind that domain registration requires a renewal to maintain ownership, usually on an annual basis. During the registration process, you might have the option to add extra services like privacy protection or email forwarding, and you want to consider those options as well based on what your business needs are, and provide the necessary payment information and proceed with the payment process as well. After payment, you can receive a confirmation of domain ownership from the registrar and keep that information in a secure place because that's essentially your proof of ownership. And you can log into your domain registrar account to access domain management features, and from there you can configure DNS settings and set up email accounts, and manage other domain related settings as well. Remember, it's really crucial to choose a domain name wisely as it represents your online identity. So consider your branding, target audience, and long-term goals whenever you're selecting a domain as well. So this is a really popular domain registrar called Namecheap, and Namecheap, not only are they a domain registrar, they're also a web hosting company, and they provide domain registration services along with other related services. They offer a wide range of domain extensions to choose from, including popular ones like .com, .net, .org, and they also have some niche TLDs as well. And it's known for their competitive pricing. So Namecheap does offer competitive and affordable pricing. They often provide discounted rates for the first year of registration as well, and subsequent years are priced at kind of like a standard rate. But additionally, they also offer frequent promotions and deals on domain registration, so keep an eye out for that as well. In addition to Namecheap, they also have other sort of services as well. These include web hosting, SSL certificates, email hosting, builders, things like that. So they covers the needs of individual small businesses and large enterprises as well. They also have a really friendly DNS management where you can configure your own DNS settings. If you want to set up your own records, manage your subdomains, they make that really easy for you on their interface. And they have a reputation for providing really responsive and helpful customer service as well. In terms of the customer service, they offer 24/7 live chat and a ticket-based support to assist with kind of any domain-related questions that you might have. Namecheap have a really clean and intuitive interface that make it easy to manage your domain and other services, and their control panel provides this kind of centralized hub for domain management, billing, support, and other account settings as well. It's worth noting that while Namecheap is well regarded, it's always good to compare different domain registrars based on your specific needs, pricing, customer support, and this will kind of ensure that you have the best fit for your domain registration and management requirements as well. So the cost of registering a domain name can vary depending on several factors, including the registrar you choose, the specific domain extension, and any additional services you opt for. Different domain extensions have different pricing. Generally, the most common TLDs like .com and .net and .org tend to have standard pricing, but the newer and specialized extensions may have different pricing tiers. Some premium or highly sought after domains can come with a lot higher price tags. And then you want to consider the domain registration as well, so like the duration as well. So domain registration is typically offered on an annual basis, although some registrars may offer the longer that you register for. And loads of domain registrars also offer promotional pricing for the first year of registration, but they're introductory offers, so keep in mind that the subsequent years might be, a little bit more standard pricing, and that might be a little higher as well. There's also additional add-on services that come with an extra cost, and this can include privacy protection, email forwarding, SSL certificates, things like that. So while it's challenging to kind of provide an exact cost range, domain registration typically starts at around $10 to $20 per year for standard TLDs like .com, .net, or .org, but they can vary based on like more premium domains or specialized extensions as well. You want to remember to review the pricing details and any renewal fees and any other additional services or promotions offered by the registrar before completing the registration process. This will kind of ensure that you have a clear understanding of the total cost involved in registering and maintaining your domain as well. So how do you choose a good domain name? The first thing that you want to do is just to make sure that it's simple and memorable. You want to aim for a domain name that's easy to remember and pronounce. Avoid any complex spelling, hyphens, or numbers that can confuse or make it difficult for users to recall your domain name. And you want to use keywords as well. You want to make sure that the words that you're using in your domain can help benefit your website's SEO. It's not essential. Encoding keywords in your domain name can potentially benefit your website's SEO, but I would prioritize sort of user friendliness and brand appeal over keyword stuffing as well. You want to consider the TLD. So you want to select the right level, and that can enhance the clarity and credibility of your domain name. Popular TLDs are like .com, as mentioned before, are often recommended for commercial businesses, while TLDs like .org are more for the nonprofit organizations. And ensure that your domain name doesn't infringe on any existing trademarks. So you want to conduct a search to check for existing trademarks or registered business names that could potentially create any legal issues down the line. Remember to take your time and brainstorm several ideas before settling on a domain name. It's an important decision that will have a long-term implication for your online presence as well. And that wraps up our exploration of website domains. I hope you find this video informative and insightful. Remember that choosing the right domain is basically like picking the perfect address for your online home. It can shape your brand, influence your online presence, and ultimately impact your success. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content on web development, digital marketing, and all things related to the online world. If you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.